Hello there. How are you doing? This is the Halloween night 8:30 call and for countdown to the holidays. So I'm just going to share a little bit with you tonight while I drink my coffee because coffee is good. Um, anyway, I wanted to uh, just talk to you a little bit about something that's been kind of on my mind all weekend. And um, it really is. Uh, Here's the thing. Nobody likes to talk about it because it's not a manly thing to talk about, and it sounds like somebody's whimpering and whining and being a wimp. All kinds of different stereotypes that are attached to it, but there is the reality of when you just don't feel worth it. You feel worthless. You feel like there's just no way that you could ever be that person that gets in shape. You could never be that person that has a happy life. You could never be that person that actually has things go right for you. Um, my wife calls it the person that walks around with even though it's sunshine everywhere, there's that little black cloud that follows them everywhere, and every now and then it strikes them with lightning, and it's constantly raining on them. It's kind of that thought process that goes through our head that um, things just don't happen that are good for us. We end up with having issues and different things that are going that are kind of that just basically don't um, make us feel very good about ourselves. And I want to talk about that because here's the thing. Honestly, everybody struggles with this, and anybody who doesn't is lying. So it's taken me a long time to actually get the guts to actually say that and to be honest about it. We don't feel worthy. We feel like we're a jerk. Um, all that kind of stuff. Um, and the problem, the thing with it is that holds us back so much, and it's a lie. It's not true. It really, really, really drives a hard wedge kind of into what you're really truly capable of. It doesn't really let you get the results out of your life that you want to. And the entire reality is that God is very clear that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are worthy, and that for whatever reason in from your, the time you were about 5, 6 years old through your early teen years, something got ground into your head that you just weren't quite good enough. And um, and it's really difficult because um, people make up for it in different ways in their personalities. They can be arrogant, they can be braggadocious, they can get angry, uh, they can act know-it-allish. Other people just act doom and gloom all the time. And I see it all the time too, because they make fun of it, they make light of it. Facebook is full of it. Oh my gosh, just flip Facebook on and just flip through the amount of men and women that are just that are out there, and they're just literally uh, I don't know, whining, crying. I want to say whining, that's a bad term. They're literally feeling like they don't um, that for whatever reason their relationship status is doomed. They want to have a significant other, but they don't have one. And it's the constant um, denial that they need somebody, but then the constant discussion about having somebody. And it really does create quite an issue because it's just kind of a way to cover up the pain that's really there. And it really, there's a way, how you get past that is the key. It holds you back. It physically wears you out. It physically makes you tired. Um, it physically can cause unhealthy things to happen in your body. And so how we get past all of that is we have to start from very first, before we do anything else. You have to start from a place of gratitude. You have to find a place of gratitude. You have to come up with a place where you're grateful for the things that are actually going well in your life and the things that are happening that are good in your life. just little things. Today at work, I had a mind numbing day at work. My brain literally hurt um, with all the stuff that was coming down and all the questions and the discussions and the things that were happening, and trying to put, two and two together, and just all kinds of different things. Anyway, long story short, when I got home, even though I drove home, I had to have a couple conversations on the phone, and I just hadn't had time to wind down. I hadn't had time to just kind of shift gears and wind down at all. And I got home and dinner was made. My wife had, our girls in the living room watching a Halloween show because it was Halloween and she wanted to give them something fun to watch. And she was working on her computer, and it was just peaceful and quiet. And without having to have a forced conversation, I was able to make my dinner and just sit in peace and quiet. And I'm really grateful for that I was able to just come home, dinner was ready, and I was able to sit down. And I'm super grateful that I just had that time to just give me like 20 or 30 minutes to kind of get my bearings. And that was important. And those are the kind of things that you need to look and see what you're grateful for in your life. Just the little things. I'm grateful that I had a job that I could actually, go to work, and I could, go grocery shopping with my wife this weekend, and we were able to put food in the refrigerator. So we could make dinner tonight. I mean, you think that seems like a thing, but my dad tells the story. My dad's 80 years old. So 80 years is nothing. I mean, so back when he was, this would be 65 years ago. He's a teenager, and someone broke in. They had a pig that they had raised, and they had slaughtered it, and they had saved all the fat and all the meat. I mean, nothing goes unused back in those days. And they had all put it down in the cellar. And it was basically their food for the winter. It was what they were going to have to eat for the winter, and it was what they were going to use for food for the winter. And someone broke in their house and stole it. And not too long after that, one of the families in the neighborhood had a cookout for the neighborhood, invited everybody. And as soon as my dad's family arrived, everybody knew that basically what they were cooking was the meat they had stole. This was their pig. This was their food. And everybody, why they would invite, why would they think that they wouldn't notice that, because of the way that some of the meat was wrapped and everything else, they knew it was theirs. Why they would think that they wouldn't notice that, oh, that's our stolen meat. I don't know. But after they got home, the kids were all protesting, going, why didn't we confront them? Why didn't we take them? And not that this is a good idea. I mean, it was just more of a fear of confrontation. But my grandma Hayward just said, well, maybe they just needed it more than we did. But my dad remembers that was meat and food that they were going to use to get them, try to get them through a lot of the winter. That was what they were going to use for meat. My dad, there was a lot of kids in their family, and so there was a back porch that they covered in. And the two oldest boys, my dad and his brother, had to take that as a bedroom. And my dad remembers getting up at night and having to shake the snow off the blanket that was on his bed. He had just had stacks of blankets on top of his bed that he would sleep with, but he remembers in the winter having to shake the snow off that top blanket when he got up in the morning. And I'm thinking, man, I've never been in a place where there wasn't heat. I've never been ever in a situation where I was fearing for, oh my gosh, is there going to be meat, on the table? I'm going to be 60 years old this year. I'm only 20 years younger than my dad. And I don't remember any times like that at all, where I was in a cold house because we didn't have money for heat. That just amazes me that, just 20 years removed from my father, that's the kind of life he had to live as a teenager. It's pretty incredible, how far, we've come and how far I've come, even though I know there's people that are suffering, around the United States that are homeless and things, but I've just never had to experience that. So I guess what I'm saying is that, there's things like that I'm just grateful for that we just overlook. And so I really want to encourage you that where you get started with getting past this feeling of worthlessness, feeling like, you're just not capable of obtaining some of your dreams, some of the things you'd like to do. Honestly, all that work, it starts with gratefulness, being grateful and writing that stuff down. The other thing you need to do is you need to tell yourself the truth. You've been lied to. You are worthy. And it sounds kind of arrogant to sit there and say, hey, I'm worthy. Hey, I'm worth this. Hey, I'm capable of getting my dreams. It almost sounds braggadocious and everything else. But honestly, here's the thing. When you think that, it's actually the opposite of that, because when you're thinking yourself unworthy, that's prideful. Because you're thinking that you know better than God, the God who made you. You're thinking he made a mistake. You're thinking that for whatever reason, things haven't worked out in your life. And that's almost when you down yourself and you get after yourself, that really almost is a pride thing. Thinking that somehow you're so special that you got away from all the blessings that are available to everybody out there. Really? And then we tell ourselves the lie on the other side that's sitting there and saying, gosh, I'm somebody. I'm strong. I'm capable. I can do things. I can make money between, now and next year. I can take care of my family. I can have a great marriage. I can be a good person. I can be funny. All those things sound like they're bragging, but they're really not. They're basically speaking truth into your life about who you really are as a person. And you start finding that when you write down the things you're grateful for. And then that burns over into the lies that you've told yourself. Now, the first time that you say to yourself one of these statements, and I encourage you to read them out loud, about the fact that you're worthy and that you're capable and all that. The first time that you say one of those, I'm just going to use one that's got a very clear quantity. Doug, you can make $200,000 by June 3rd of 2019. If in the back of your brain you hear a laugh when you say that out loud, you hear a chuckle, that is a definite warning sign that there's something horribly, horribly wrong in your mindset about that. And the reason why is, and it's not about the money, the reason why is because it's the ability for you to be capable of doing anything, for you to have the capability to rise above your things that you look at as limitations or even hindrances or obstacles. Mentally, somewhere something's gotten moved in your brain and it's shifted. I just want to super, super strongly encourage you right now. Write this stuff down tonight before you go to bed that you're grateful for. Write down the positive things about who you want to be as a person and say them out loud. I'm telling you now, it will change your life. That's the important stuff. Those are the things you want to do. This feeling of unworthiness, this feeling that you just can't get ahead, guys, those are all lies to just keep you down. And I struggle with those probably more than anything else in my life. Just struggling with those thoughts of not being worthy or not being capable. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you. I love you guys. I want you to bring the joy to somebody today, but bring the joy to yourself. Write down the stuff you're grateful for and then speak those positive things into your life and say them out loud. Write down all those positive things about you and say them out loud. And make that change, because it really will change it'll alter you physically. It'll alter your energy level. It'll alter who you are. And that's pretty amazing. So love you guys. Own your day and make sure you bring the joy to somebody, and we'll talk again next week.